Final Cat. Shout out to Impressive and most importantly, shout out to y'all for tapping in. This is Ashanti exposes Irv Gotti and says he wishes she dies. She speak on the rumored romance. Now, in documentaries I reacted to, she denied it. I guess he felt hurt or something like that because she chose Nelly or whatever, so he was hurt. Started blocking motion, wanting her to write for other artists and not keep the song for herself and stuff like that. But we ain't gonna talk too much. We're gonna get straight into the video.
She finally breaks her silence about her issues with Irv Gotti on Angie Martinez show.
Like, I genuinely, in my heart, I believe that Irv wishes death on me. 1,000,000%.
Oh, no.
1,000,000%. Yeah, okay, fuck you too, you fat bitch ass motherfucker. Now what?
Oh, is that how
Oh,
you really feel?
oh, shout out
Ashanti
to shout out to Angie Martinez too. She's definitely a goat.
revealed so much more in this interview, and I'm going to break it down in this video. Stay tuned.
Shout out to the Impressive.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Impressive channel. Now, before I get into this whole Ashanti and Irv Gotti discussion, I first want to thank HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal.
Everybody been talking about HelloFresh, but this is not what we came here for. Shout out to Impressive, but we want to get straight to it, man. We want to, and this shit was like 2 minutes long. Yeah.
Now back to the video. Ashanti recently sat down and did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she finally broke her silence about her beef with Irv Gotti. She actually gave a lot of insight on her issues with Irv, and she didn't reveal too much, but she revealed enough. And I think it was important for her to tell her side of the story because for a long time, Irv Gotti has kind of painted her as the villain. Okay,
As
so
a traitor.
what exactly happened? Well, Ashanti, as a lot of us know, is a veteran in the R&B game. She's been in the game for 20 years, and she had her peak fame in the early 2000s. Now, she was signed to a record label called Murder Inc. Records, which was owned by Irv Gotti. Now, Irv Gotti's label was very successful because his two top artists, Ashanti and Ja Rule, were pumping out hits left and right. Unfortunately, the label's success was short-lived because Irv Gotti was indicted for money laundering charges and he was investigated for having criminal ties to the drug kingpin Supreme. And on top of that, he and his artists were feuding with 50 Cent and his crew. So it was all very, very messy. And unfortunately, Ashanti was affected in the situation. Ashanti revealed that she lost endorsement deals. She was targeted in the rap beef. Her reputation was affected, and also her relationship with Irv was very strained. It was so negative to the point that she had to stop recording for a while and do something different. Now, Irv Gotti has a gripe with Ashanti to this day because he feels like Ashanti was not loyal. He feels like she didn't stay down with him when he was going through his case. So he doesn't like her at all. He's done multiple interviews talking down on her, and he even did a whole documentary about Murder Inc. and Ashanti wasn't painted in the best light. And this is one of the reasons why Ashanti is speaking out now, because she claims that there were a lot of lies told about her.
Irv has flat out lied about a lot of things. I hate when he tells the story about, oh, Ashanti's not loyal and she didn't support during the trial. When clearly you see me at the trial. Clearly you see me on every single newspaper. I was shooting John Tucker Must Die in Canada. And legally my contract, I was not allowed to leave the country. I left like 3-4 times. You know, we weren't even speaking at that time. But I left because I was supportive. I felt like Irv wanted, he thought that he could single-handedly make the whole entire world hate me and want to watch his documentary. What are you really gaining out of that? You think that people are going to watch a documentary because you're trying to shit on me? Irv is just hurt and he doesn't know where to place his hurt. You know, when someone is in pain, they kind of act out of character. you know, and
That's
I
fine.
see a lot of feminine qualities, you know what I mean? And I feel like
Ashanti.
I'm just saying,
Yo.
we've accomplished so much. It doesn't make sense for you to have this much hate for me, you know? Like, I genuinely, in my heart, I believe that Irv wishes death on me. 1,000,000%.
Oh no.
1,000,000%.
Really?
1,000,000%.
That's horrible.
It's crazy.
Now, one of the big conversations in the interview was about Ashanti's relationship with Irv Gotti. Irv has been putting it out there for years that he and Ashanti had an intimate sexual relationship, and he talked about it on Drink Champs, and he said that the song Happy was
No,
created
she
after
looked like she didn't even want to be held. She looked like in her head, like, yo, if this nigga don't get off me.
he and Ashanti allegedly slept together. He also was hurt when he found out that Ashanti started dating
Nelly.
Nelly.
At the time of it happens, any man
Yeah, of course.
is hurt.
Yeah,
The chick you fucking are in love with is with this nigga.
Country grandma.
Now, him speaking about their relationship was problematic for a few reasons. For one, it's never cool to kiss and tell. It's just never
Yeah.
cool to do that. Also, he was married at the time, so he shouldn't have been messing with Ashanti. And on top of that,
Come on, man.
Ashanti was his artist, and she was also younger than him. And him trying to have a sexual relationship.
That's your problem right there. It just clicked. You mix business and pleasure. That's not what you're supposed to do. Feel me? You're supposed to keep it 100% on the business side. No matter how good you felt she looked, you were supposed to keep it on the business side. You stepped out of the bounds, got smacked right back in. That's your fault.
With
That's your
an
fault.
artist that's under his tutelage or control, so to speak, is kind of problematic. So it didn't sit well with a lot of people that he was putting it out there that he and Ashanti slept together. Even if they did, it's not something that the world
He not gonna
needs
gain
to
nothing
know.
from saying that.
Ashanti did address those claims in kind of a roundabout way. I noticed she didn't flat out deny some of the things that were said. However, she made it a point to say that her relationship with Irv was not the way he was painting it out to be. He fell in love with her, but she wasn't feeling the same way.
You thought I was feeling
How
you?
was that
Or
the
something?
same relationship? I mean, through the eyes of Irv, you know, like I said, you never really talked about it. And the fact that he has so clearly said that there was a relationship there was love there. He talks about being hurt, seeing you and Nelly for the first time. You know,
But
I don't know.
if the nigga was married, what the hell you going that hard for, bro? What you going that hard for, bro?
Do you want to say anything about that, or you want to
I
just
think
let
that
his?
Irv definitely has his side and his version. You know, you may think that it's something and the other person knows that it's not, you know, and you manifest this thing into something big and it's really not that. And then when that person finally realizes that it's not that, it turns them into a completely different person. But see, let's clear this up.
Okay.
We're not going to say relationship. We dealt with each other, but having a was Irv my boyfriend? Was I his girlfriend? Never.
Really?
Never. So
Well, was he married? He was still married at the time, right? He was married.
that's my point. Irv had several girlfriends. He had a lot of
Oh,
females. So to
damn.
me, I didn't know he was married for a long time, you know? And then when situations, you know, grew into situations or whatever, he would always just be like, yo, I've been single for a long time. You know what I'm saying? It's on paper, but we're legally separated. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
And then I also felt like there was a lot of pressure. Like, okay, so if I say, does that mean we're not gonna record? You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
I mean,
It became-
she was trying to play it smart because when it comes to certain things like that, a lot of female artists go through like producers and stuff like that, basically saying like, oh, if you don't do this with me, I'm not releasing your song, or I'm keeping your song, or you're gonna have to pay freaking this amount of money, and it's a large lump sum of money. So it's like they go through all that. So shout out to all the female artists that's still, pushing hard to make sure they live out their dreams and shit.
came a lot of pressure. And I remember specifically being like, yo, I don't want to this is too much for me. Like, yo, you're married. I don't want to go down that path.
So if you kind of read between the lines, you would hear that Ashanti was kind of hinting at something interesting. She said that she felt pressured from Irv. And the way I took it as, she felt pressured to go further with him than she wanted to go. She wanted to keep it about business, but he wanted something more. And if she didn't cave in to his advances, she felt like he wouldn't let her record her music. And that's a very sad situation for anybody to be in. This is why the relationship between her and Irv was inappropriate. It was inappropriate and problematic. Irv did have power over her in their situation, and if he couldn't get his way, he would take it out on her. And that's exactly what happened, which is a big reason why Irv and Ashanti aren't cool to this day.
Okay, yeah, me and Nelly were dating. Irv was salty. Irv would not let me come to the studio to record. Irv was telling everyone not to record with me.
Yeah, it's
I don't
real
wanna stay
salty.
in that situation. How can I stay in that situation? You know what he said to me?
What?
He said, nah, you want to be with Nelly? Go sign the dirty A&T. We don't want you. I mean, I don't even know if I should say this. You know, there were threats. There were threats. You know, me dealing with Nelly. You know, there was death threats. You know,
Wow.
I mean, I don't know how serious they were because, you know, again, you try to
Still
personify this person that you're really not. But when you
Towards
say,
Damn, she
towards me.
she tried to pull his whole card for real, for real. Just you shouldn't have just kept his mouth closed if that's the case, because it's like if you had multiple girlfriends and you was married, it's like what you stressing over one for?
towards who I was dealing with, you know, you keep doing that, you know,
Yeah.
so manipulation definitely played a part. Power, flexing, throwing your weight around. I definitely feel like manipulation played a heavy part into me and Irv's situation. You know, he would say stuff like, "No one wants to record with you. Nobody, you know, nobody fucks with you like that." You know what I mean? You know, he would say
That's
stuff
weird.
like, you know, we're going to keep it in the family, it's in-house. And on one hand, he would make it feel like family, family, family. And on the other hand, he would tell me, nobody even likes you. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get beats from nobody. Nobody's going to give you shit. And then when I did start to evolve and get in the studio with certain producers, I would hear all the time, yo, we always reached out. We always wanted to fuck with you. You know, we thought you didn't want to fuck with us. And it was like, wow. He was just telling people, don't work with me. He was telling people, you know, I remember when he told my stylist at the time, Rosie, he kind of was like, if you fuck with Ashanti, you don't fuck with me. And that's what he told every single person on the label, in the building. If you talk to Ashanti, if you go to Ashanti's birthday, if you support her in any way, it's fuck you. He would say, you know, niggas want to fuck you because I made you look like that. I made you fuckable.
Son was trying
those
to take
exact
all the
words.
credit.
He had said something like, well, I want 90% of anything you make, like, for the rest of your life, you know, like something crazy. But he was serious, you know, and I was just like, but I don't understand. You don't want me around. You told me to get the fuck away from Murder Inc. I get the fuck away from Murder Inc. I go and try to get a situation, and then you tell me, well, no, because then I want this and this and this forever. You know, when a person gets in that position to flex their power, it does become scary. And it's like, okay, so if I don't agree with this and I don't like this and I feel like I'm being forced and manipulated, what do I do? That's why I kind of like dipped off from the music for a while, because it was so negative and it was just so vile.
This whole interview was very enlightening to me, and it gave deeper insight into the nature of Ashanti's situation with Irv Gotti. There's a reason why Ashanti doesn't want to associate with Irv Gotti today, because they had a bad fallout and there was never any real reconciliation. Irv still has this grudge against her to this day, and she just doesn't want to be around him. And I honestly can't blame her. Now, on another note, Ashanti did release a new song called Falling for You, and I actually like the song a lot. I was vibing to it, so if you get a chance, check it out. Anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much.
Shout out to Impressive once again. Me personally, I'm a person that knows do not mix business and pleasure at all. At all. Gotta have some type of self discipline somewhere in your craft, because once you do, everything collapses. Once you mix those two. But let me know what y'all think about this whole situation. Once again, shout out to all female artists that's pushing through the struggles of having to deal with certain things like this, or just deal with fucked up producers and shit like that. Appreciate y'all for the love and support. Love is love, and I'm gonna catch you on the next video.